Let's talk about personalization. It's one of the biggest buzzwords in business, right? But if we're being honest, most of what we see out there, it isn't really personalization at all. So today, we're going to move past the hype. We're going to build the strategic framework for a real AI-driven personalization machine.
Okay, so first things first, we need to get on the same page about what we're even talking about. Because if you don't know what you're aiming for, you're never, ever going to hit the target. So let me ask you something right off the bat. Think about the companies you deal with every single day. Are they truly personalizing your experience, or are they just letting you customize it? Believe me, there's a world of difference. And this right here, this is the fundamental difference. Customization is reactive. It's when you do all the work, picking from a list of options. But real personalization, that's proactive. That's when the company anticipates what you need and does the work for you. That little shift from reactive to proactive is the key to everything we're about to build.
So, how do you get proactive? Well, any good engine needs the right kind of fuel. And for our personalization engine, that fuel is, you guessed it, high-quality customer data. But here's the thing. Not all data is created equal. There's a really clear hierarchy of value. We've got zero-party, first, second, and third-party data. And the key takeaway is simple. The higher you go up this list, the more trust you're building and the more powerful your personalization becomes. This right here is the absolute gold standard, zero-party data. It's information the customer gives you on purpose, willingly. You know, like when a skincare brand asks about your skin concerns, or a streaming service asks what genres you love. The customer is literally telling you what they want. It's explicit, it's trustworthy, and it is the best possible fuel for your engine. And if you want to see why that quality matters so much, just look at the other end of the spectrum. I mean, this quote is just staggering. A major company found out the third-party data they were buying was less than 50% accurate on something as basic as gender. That's literally worse than a coin flip. Using bad data isn't just a waste of money, it actively damages the trust you have with your customers. Okay, so we've got our high-quality data fuel. Now we need the actual engine to turn that fuel into action. And this is where AI-driven intelligence and, crucially, content generation come into play. The whole job of this engine is to figure out the next best action. And I don't mean for a generic segment of people, I mean for each individual. Right now, at this exact moment, should you show this person a product recommendation, or maybe send them a helpful article, or offer a special discount? The engine's job is to make that call in real time. But look, predicting the right action is kind of useless if you don't have the right content to deliver. And for years, this has been the massive bottleneck. Well, generative AI is completely changing the game. It can instantly create countless variations of images, headlines, and offers, which means companies can finally deliver truly one-to-one content at an incredible scale. All right, we've got our data fuel, we've got our AI engine, so we're done, right? We just plug it in and go? Not even close. Because the most surprising and honestly the most critical part of this whole machine isn't the technology at all. It's the people. 70%. Just look at that number. What do you think that represents? The budget? The success rate of these projects? Let's find out. Here's what that 70% is all about. It's the 70-20-10 rule. In any successful personalization project, a whopping 70% of the entire effort is about people and process. It's about changing how your teams actually work together. Only 20% is about the data, and just 10% is the technology. Think about that. Your success hinges on organizational change, not just on buying the latest software. And this is the real-world impact when you focus on that 70%. One company went from this clunky 12-week campaign process with 13 different handoffs between teams down to just 5 days with 0 handoffs. That's the kind of power you unlock when you redesign how your people work. And the business results, they're undeniable. This isn't just theory. We're talking about real companies like Pandora reigniting growth and hitting record sales, Marriott literally doubling customer engagement, and a major bank unlocking hundreds of millions of dollars in value. When you get this framework right, the impact is massive. Now let's be clear. This is an incredibly powerful machine we've just built. And with great power, well, you know how it goes, comes great responsibility. The potential here is huge, but so are the risks if you don't build in the right guardrails from day one. This means you have to be actively thinking about these risks. How do you prevent bias from creeping into your AI models?
How do you make sure you don't just bombard customers with messages? And what do you do when a generative AI hallucinates and creates something that's just flat out wrong or off brand? These are the threats you have to plan for.
But when you boil it all down, all of those risks really point to this one thing. After all the strategy and the data and the AI, the whole point is to build a stronger, more human connection with your customer. So the greatest risk you face isn't that your technology will fail, it's that your technology will succeed in a way that breaks that customer's trust forever.